Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the top 10 best gambling eligible shooting guards point guards in my team right now. So a lot of really good point guard options on this list. And obviously a lot of these guys are not attainable in pretty much any way, which is really annoying. It's pretty much the worst part about this game. But I think splitting these top 10 lists into gambling lists and not gambling lists does a good job of, I think, balancing it out pretty well. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily My Team content. We'd really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So starting off with the number 10 spot, we have ourselves Hedo Turkoglu. This card is very good and yet a little disappointing to me at the same time. He's 6'10 with pretty much perfect SIGs, obviously basically perfect stats and badges as a 100 overall, and he's not missing anything of real importance. What he is missing is a release that is truly top tier. It is not a bad release, but it is not a great 3 hunting top tier release either, and that is the only thing this card is missing. If he had one of the better releases in the game, he would be a top 5 point guard easily on this list. But unfortunately, with the release he has, I just can't justify putting him any higher than number 10, as good of a card as he is. Number 9 is kind of the same thing, LeBron. And I'm talking about all the LeBrons. You got Invincible Braun, GOAT out of position, or sorry, Gladiator Braun, which is the 100 overall, and then his out of position point guard Braun. All the PG Brons are included in this. Now, I will say this, y'all see there's a GOAT Braun. He's not going to be on this list. None of the GOAT cards are on this list, nor actually pullable invincibles. So I guess this would go for the pullable invincible as well, but we'll put this LeBron here, basically limiting it to taking out pullable invincibles and pullable GOAT cards because those cards are so exceedingly rare to get. I don't really think there's much point in including them, but everything else I will include, including 100 overalls at this point. And point guard Braun, no matter which one you have, amazing card, super complete badges, not missing anything of importance. But just like Hedo, a little bit limited in terms of his release. It hurts the card. He's an inch shorter than Hedo, but I will say defensive animations are definitely stronger on him. I think he's a great guard card. I think he does a lot of things really well. And yeah, I would definitely personally put him at the top of this list. If he had a better release, again, kind of like Hedo, he'd be in the top couple. But right now, as is, I can't put him any higher than number 9. Number 8 is going to be Mitch Richmond. Sorry, not Mitchell Richmond. Mitch Richmond, who is not a pullable invincible. He's a free invincible, which is why he's allowed to be on this list. And while he's only 6'5", his jump shot is top tier. His animations across the board are really good as well. I know the Curry slide maybe not quite as good as the Jamal Murray behind the back, but his release is insane. His fade is phenomenal. His SIGs are top tier. He's got a nice player build, and he does everything well on both ends of the court, honestly, including being an absolutely exceptional defender. Plays bigger than 6'5". I really like this Mitch Richmond card despite his lack of size, and I think putting him number 8's totally fair. Number 7, Cade Cunningham. Really like this card, and he's the best. I think he might be the best base dark matter PG in the game who's not like an out of position card. I guess that's not true. There's a couple of next cards on here as well, but he's definitely one of the better dark matter PGs in the game. 6'7" with a 7'1" wingspan. Again, I mean, you could, I guess, critique no off-move enforcer or brick wall if you want to. As a whole, not missing much of importance. Super athletic, great shooter, great fade. All that type of stuff. Like I said, the fade has been changed. Him having a great fade now is a big deal. His fade was really bad on his previous card. Now it is not. His SIGs are top tier, but his release is also top tier. Very good for a PG, and he's got a nice player build at 6'7" that probably puts him closer to 6'8" with his hair. Again, really good card. Cade just is not lacking of much of anything at the PG spot. Number 7, Stephon Castle. Not number 7, number 6. When you compare him to a Cade Cunningham, I mean, they're the same height. They both have 6'10" wingspan. I would say him having Hoff movable enforcer, Hoff brick wall is probably the one differentiator, because they both have great releases. They both have Pro 2 fade. They both have top tier SIGs. And I mean, Castle even has Steph behind the back instead of Jamal behind the back, which is probably the better one. Doesn't matter that much though, because his jumper is just as good, if not better, than Cade's. And I think the defensive end is a little bit better as well. I give him the slide edge. Both really good cards. I'd put the number 6 spot going to Stephon Castle. Number 5, Brandon Roy. Incredible 100 overall reward. Amazing release. Yes, he's a teensy bit undersized, only 6'6", but does it really matter? No. Badge-wise, awesome. Release-wise, awesome. Pro 2 fade, Kyrie dribble style, Francis size up, Trey escape, Jamal Murray behind the back, and John Wall drag back are literally the best 6 possible in my opinion. He is incredibly good on both ends of the court, and especially offensively with how good his releases and how solid his SIGs are. Top tier shot creator, does everything well. Would be higher if he was taller than 6'6". 6'7" at the number 4 spot is going to be Nikola Topic. Topic is basically very similar, I would say, to Stephon Castle, as is Brandon Roy. They're all kind of very similar cards. He's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan himself. Very versatile, complete defender himself as well, with half movable, enforcer, and brick wall. And then obviously Dyson Daniels base, Oscar up around very quick, Pro 2 fade, perfect SIGs pretty much. I mean, Steph escape, hard mind in the back would be the 2 critiques. So I guess it's not perfect SIGs, but still very good ones. If you wanted to make an argument to put Roy or Castle above him, you can. And I think all those guys are so close together it becomes opinion. And I think Nikola Topic probably is my favorite of all of them that I have used, although they're all really good and really close together. I think very much interchangeable between 4 and 6, maybe even 4 and 7. All right, top 3. Y'all are going to notice a theme with the top 3. It's not a theme that I'm happy about, but it is, I think, a truthful theme. And number 3 is going to be Wembanyama. I get that he's 7'4". He's not number 1 or number 2 anymore. As good as he is, his SIGs could use some work, but he's also 7'4". And if you have this card, you create yourself an absolutely overpowered mismatch size-wise. A dominant option as a off-the-ball screener or an on-the-ball screener to run pick and roll with to try to attack mismatches. Provides a ton of size in your lineup, especially when you have tall power forward, tall center, but now you have a tall point guard as well. Can create a lot of mismatches. And yes, the stats are very good, honestly, not missing much of any importance. The badges are also, I think, very good despite not having half handles for days. But again, the lack of SIGs is probably the biggest do-in for this card, and the reason that I put him at number 3, as good as he is. His release could also be a little bit better. But again, Wembanyama, 7'4". Not a card that you ever want to run into at the point guard spot because he is overpowered. Number 3, point guard Giannis. I know he's only 7 foot versus 7'4". Doesn't really matter that much to me because Giannis will compete enough defensively, and what he gives me offensively is much, much better SIGs. That's more important to me in my opinion. Also, honestly, as a whole, has better stats, although Wemby's stats are still insane himself. Shooting badges could maybe be a teensy bit better on Giannis, as well as that handles for days badge potentially being on Hoff. But again, top tier elite level SIGs at 7 foot tall, kind of does enough to get over it. And then Pro 2 fade as well. I mean, he is an absolutely exceptional card who does, again, everything well. Elite level card at the point guard spot. And I think putting him number 2 is totally fair. But the number 1 spot on the list right now, it's not even close. It's the best point guard, non-gambling or not, in the game. Distinctly Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's not even close. He is bigger than Giannis. He is more complete stat and badge-wise than Giannis. He has also got a better release than Giannis, and he's got the same SIGs pretty much. He is the best card in the game, period, at least arguably. It's him, Glenn Rice, a couple others, a couple of the bigs like Taco and Zach Edey probably. But as a whole, when it comes to best point guard in the game, there's no debate. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then it's everybody else. And I think it's very, very easy and very obvious to put him number 1. I literally just put him number 1, and then worked backwards from there to build this list. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.